Welcome to this edition of My Favorite Pokemon Types. In this episode, I'll be talking about my favorite Dark-type Pokemon. Just as a disclaimer, this has nothing to do with Smogon, it has nothing to do with overuse, underuse, it has nothing to do with metagame, stats, competitive play, what have you. This only has to do with Pokemon that I like. The Dark-type debuted in Generation 2, and in Electronics Gaming Monthly they revealed the entire Pokedex as well as the first routes you'd go through up to the first gym leader. However, towards the end of that Pokedex, there was Tyranitar, one of the new Dark Pokemon. However, I didn't know what types it had, but I knew I wanted to use it. It was this green, giant, dragon-looking thing, and I just knew. And when I found out it was the armor Pokemon and actually raising it, and I was like, man, this thing better be worth it. It was. I used it all through Colosseum and throughout the generations to gain Sandstorm, just making it even, like, it's whittling you away, and even if it's, like, with that Sandstorm just whittling away its opponents, and it's got all this awesome power. I always imagine Tyranitar, like, just lunging forward at its opponents with, like, its gaping jaw to use Crunch, or with its, like, claws out ready to do, like, a Dragon Claw. And, like, you could teach it Iron Tail, I guess, because I think that's, like, the best tail move you can teach it. I mean, Dragon Tail sends the opponents away, but still. And then, like, it does have a Mega Evolution to, like, bolster its power even further, but, like, T-Tar being a pseudo-legendary was, like, the cherry on top, because no matter what, I wanted to use Tyranitar, because it's a green Pokemon. And then I found out how, like, great it was through just using it, and I saw, like, when I was looking, like, I know I said it has nothing to do with stats, but when I was trying to put together my ultimate Johto team back in Pokemon Silver, I saw its attack was well over 300, and comparing it to the other Pokemon that I had, it was easily one of the most powerful. And I always go back to Tyranitar. I always have it, like, there's one in my roster boxes, and, being probably the first Dark-type Pokemon that I ever really used consistently, I will always, like, hold Tyranitar near and dear to me. Krookodile, being part of my main Unova team, Krookodile was kind of like an experimental Pokemon for me. I needed a ground type in my party, and I didn't really realize that it was dark. I mean, yeah, I did know that it was dark, but I thought, two resistances. It won't take any electric damage, it won't take any psychic damage. So, and then it learns dragon moves as it goes on. However, my Krookodile had Moxie. With Moxie, right, it kept gaining attack whenever it would take out an opponent, and I thought that was a really useful ability. Even if it's slow building and your typical, random trainer battle is only maybe 1 or 2 Pokemon, still, getting that buff just for taking out the opponent, and it kind of makes it harder to defend against, because as the attack keeps rising, it's harder for your opponent to make a comeback. But my Krookodile knew how to do Attract, and I never really used Attract before, and I never really used Disruption moves before, so it was kind of like it taught me some things, and it expanded my knowledgeability on how to use my Pokemon, because Attract was extremely useful. I found that most, if not all, of the opponent Pokemon that I came across when using Krookodile were male, and my Krookodile being female, it was just like, wow, every turn there's a 50% chance I won't take damage. It was very nice. In Gen 3, we're all very familiar with Poochyena and its evolved form, Mightyena. Now, I wasn't too thrilled with Poochyena at first. However, using Mightyena later on, having bred one to have Poison Fang, and then it became my thieving Pokemon, and then having that Intimidate ability, it soon became a powerful party member for me, and I actually would rely on that Intimidate, even if I would just switch out, like, just to get that Intimidate off. But then thieving, because we all know I like to search for my metal coats as well as heart scales and other items that wild Pokemon hold that just make it difficult for us to farm for items. Yeah, Mightyena was a great Pokemon, and I kind of felt it deserved a Mega form, but maybe not. It's a shame it was always associated with the, bad teams of the Hoenn region. But Mightyena is really cool, and I do believe, like, how many Pokemon are even connected to hyenas? Finally on the list is Houndoom. Houndoom is the Fire Dark type Pokemon, and interestingly enough, you can't actually find one in the Johto region. You had to travel to Kanto, and it had to be nighttime. I thought Fire Dark was a really cool combination. I think every teenager likes that, like, it's the evil dark type, and then with fire, and then it's this awesome dog with demon goat, monster horns, and it's mega evolution like something straight out of Bleach. Yeah, Houndoom is a really cool Pokemon just for all those reasons. Now, I did use it because it is very fast in Pokemon Colosseum, and I used it in later generations as well, trying to take advantage of new abilities that it gains, such as Sleep Talk, because I don't think it had that right away, and if it did, I didn't know about it. Or no, not Sleep Talk. Was it Insomnia? Or Early Bird? I remember it had an ability that when you used Rest, it would awaken very quickly. However, with Houndoom, I found that trying to use it as a special sweeper, I just could never get one that was fast enough that could, or like defensive enough that could take like a hit. But still, having that Pokemon, and I am an avid dog lover, it kind of felt like, yeah, I have this really cool evil dog. It breathes fire. And while I don't necessarily keep one in my roster boxes, I have to say I just really do like Houndoom for the Pokemon that it is, and it just, like I said, it looks cool. Thanks for checking out this installment of my favorite Pokemon types. Make sure to check out my playthrough of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Make sure to check out my other videos in that right-hand column. Give this video a like, do subscribe, and check out my other videos. Oh wait, I already said that. Well, thanks for watching.